Well, hold on. We're reconnecting to Restream now. So
Twitch.
Oh, we actually like, completely lost.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
yeah, it's
We're
coming all
lost
back.
in
Coming all back.
the void.
Pastel.
No.
Artemis, Twitch is having issues. Yeah, because it dropped out. All right, let's see here.
Well, I didn't know that.
The stream was
what?
killed by intentional game design.
Yeah, as soon as
It was the
Brandon,
toilet.
as soon as it was, it's totally the toilet.
How's that a thing now?
With Garrett's throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I do all my editing.
Oh no.
Ugh.
I can't get that image out of my head now. All right, moderators, are we back up? I think we are.
Can we get Garrett's throne as an no? Pastel, no!
Do it.
No! I don't
Do
want my
it.
legacy to be a toilet.
It'll be hover where it'll
It'd just be
I'm-
like the hovering tank. That's it. Okay.
words.
All right, the
Hover-
last question that we
hoverwoods?
left off with was what
Yeah.
drew you, and Garrett, I did not catch what drew
Anything?
you to Spellbound. No, I dropped out
Okay.
right after that. I was like, oh no.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'll start again. So basically, what I was saying was what drew me to Spellbound was after watching Project 863 and it first being announced, I like the concept of a new platform because it brings competition to other platforms. YouTube is a great platform, but it has so many issues and has so many decisions that are just mind-boggling. So to see Spellbound come out and create a new platform, it puts fire under someone's butt essentially. And I liked that. So I was happy to see some competition, and also to join a community is also really cool too as well. And out of the blue, I just, if anyone did not know, I did graphic design for I did like a Project A63 poster, and I did a bunch of sticker designs and stuff like that. And Bailey saw that and was like, "Oh, hey, you want to be an editor?" And that's literally how it occurred. I didn't apply for being an editor at all. I just got an email from Bailey saying, "We saw your stuff. It's so good. You want to be an editor?" And I'm like, "What?"
Oh wow.
Like, okay, cool. At first, I actually thought it was I thought I was being punked. I thought
Same.
I thought somebody was like trying to scam me, and I was like, "There's no way." Bailey just saw my stuff and was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, hey, do you want to work here?" And I'm like, "I don't. There's no way." And it was actually real, surprising to be honest. So that's how that happened essentially.
And Amon, what drew you to Spellbound?
So building off of that, this is like I'll answer the question in a quick second. I just wanted to include that when I was first asked if I wanted to be a mod on one of the subreddits, Bailey sent me a message through Reddit, but I didn't recognize her username, so I thought it was a fake. I thought it was a fake request. So I actually posted on Behind 863 being like, "Hey, is this real?" And then I checked the moderator list and she was there.
Bailey sus.
Bailey sus. Yes. But anyway, what drew me to the series? Actually, it was my brother. A long while before we actually began watching the series together, he frequently showed me stuff like Get Good Gaming videos, Team Edge, stuff like that. Not enough for me to like recognize names, but like I knew the faces there. So I knew about High Five. So when we began watching the series, I was like, oh, this is a different kind of take of what I've, I guess, come to know as High Five Studios. And as the story kind of began unfolding more and more, my writer brain kind of took a lot of intrigue in it. And eventually I adopted it from my brother, and I'm now the one in the family who's the most interested in it.
That's interesting. Brandon, can you answer the question?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can
Yep.
hear you.
All right. So for me, kind of like Garrett, I've been watching High Five / Spellbound stuff for what seems like forever. And but I really started getting into like the feel and like the atmosphere of the 863 series. Back when it was still just like the Key series, and that was pretty much it. Like it didn't have like an official like name per se. And I started like really enjoying it and like being inspired by it. I started doing a lot of like 3D scenes that were built around like the environment and everything like that. And that's kind of like when Matthias kind of first reached out to me. I had done a scene whenever a lot of people, after the episode came out where Kevin called Matthias and said that it was Wood's key fob that was used. And everybody started saying that, Woods was D because obviously, DeMars. I made the scene of the desk with the vial and the injection gun and like the Los Angeles Police Department paperwork. And on the background, it had a picture of, or it had a cell phone, and on the caller screen of cell phone, it just said D, and it was a picture of Woods. And Matt actually reached out to me about that. That's whenever Matt and I first started talking. He reached out to me about it and wanted to use it as a thumbnail for a trailer. And he ended up using it as a trailer thumbnail for the episode that was coming up after that episode.
So,
Crazy how things
in
work
a
out
sense,
like that.
yeah, it's like you guys were all noticed by work that you've already done on the internet.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
so prodigious like that.
It's weird because I have my portfolio on Spellbound, like, my actual like official. I call myself Geese and Graphics because that's my company, quote unquote. I have my portfolio on there, and that's how they got a hold of me. So it's just weird because it's just weird because it just happened. It
Mhm.
wasn't like I was like it was a goal. It just occurred. It was a
It
yeah,
fell
it
into
was
your
just
lap.
Yeah, same.
it just fell in my lap. Like, oh, hello.
Whoa, how'd this get here?
Well, what has been since your career with Spellbound? What is the hardest thing you've
Career.
ever had to edit? I know with Brandon, it must have been the latest thumbnail, right? Of Dope or Nope.
That one was, well, I mean, that one was pretty rough. Just, staring at topless Tanner for like 2 hours. And like going through a bunch of design iterations with Tanner of like what we were like, what he wanted to do with it and everything like that. I would honestly say though, probably the hardest thumbnail that I've done though is, the first thumbnail that Matthias asked me to do for like the actual Project 863 series.
Mhm.
And that one was, unfortunately, I missed the mark on it. And like, it's one of those things that I'm still personally working on doing better with. But that was probably the hardest thumbnail that I've done. And like, no one's seen it because it didn't get approved.
Mm. Well, and I mean, I knew for a long while that it was just Matthias was doing 863 thumbnails. And I was a little shocked when you said that you started doing it. I was like, "Oh, wow." Dad gave up his baby. Like yeah, so that has to be, I mean, nerve-wracking to take over that kind of a project that Matthias himself has just been doing. So, yeah. But Amon, what's the hardest thing you've had to edit in the blooper reels?
Huh. That's a good question because oftentimes with the blooper reels, you don't see such like insane edits as like the Hover Woods thing that Garrett made.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it's just like little small things, but yeah, I don't know if there's much in particular. It's just kind of like the part of the job that's a bit stressful is just that whenever Matt approached me and like asked if I could do blooper reels and stuff, I was like, yeah, sure, how do you want me to do it? Like, uh, which way do you want me to lean in terms of like humor? What style do you want it to be? And he was just like, just do what you always do.
Yep.
So I was just like, um, I guess I'll do that. I hope that it's good enough because it's like trying to impress someone without knowing what direction they want you to go in is sometimes, stressful because
Mm-hmm.
of the unknown and whatever. But I wouldn't say there's a particular edit that has been overly difficult for me, but just kind of the process of trying to make sure everything is to the standard Matt wants it to be can sometimes get to be a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Also, I just saw Pastel's comment saying swearing. Did I swear?
I don't.
I don't
Because
know.
if I did, I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice either.
No one's
I
like,
think
what?
she was just. I think they were just reminding.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, wait, no. I have a funniest moment though.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if everyone here has premium, so I guess spoilers for blooper reels, I guess, but it doesn't really matter if you're not seeing it. Um, it's from the second blooper reel I ever made, and it was when they were stopped at a red light, and Woods was signaling to the person playing the Phantom to like,
Oh yeah.
hey, we're gonna stop since there's a red light.
Oh.
And the guy playing the Phantom, can I say the full quote?
No, you can't. But you can. You
Okay, I'll
can you
improvise
say
one.
the German version of it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know German. No, but the guy playing the Phantom, and like they had walkies, right? It wasn't like an actual phone. They had walkie-talkies. So Woods just like said, stopping for the red light, and then through the radio, you just hear back, "No shoot, Sherlock." And of course, it wasn't shoot, but it
Yeah.
was so funny, just in the context
Oh.
that it was the Phantom. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Lucerne did an
man.
amazing animation on it. You can see it there. It was, dude, that's so good.
Damn.
I love that.
Amon, I am so excited for you to do the desk episode because there is
I'm so
one moment.
excited.
There's one moment where Bailey says one of the funniest things. I was so close to putting in the episode, but there's one moment where it's, I don't know if I want to spoil it, but it's hilarious, and and everybody was laughing, and I was doing version 1, and I was like, I'm gonna put this in the end of the episode, so it just goes black, and then you just see this one cut piece, and that's it. Didn't do that obviously, but I was very tempted.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't wait. For that.
Garrett, what's the hardest thing you've had to edit?
Okay, so my first episode was the hospital episode.
Hmm.
That was my first episode I've ever done for Project 63, and I was so scared. And there are 3 reasons why. 1, I'm trying to impress Matthias and everybody at Spellbound. 2, I've read the script. I know what happens. I knew people were going to be upset. Because I saw the content and I was like, oh, people are going to be mad. Or people could be confused. And 3, there was a lot of graphic work on that episode. There was a lot of... Because like I signed up to be on Project 63 to do a lot of the editing parts, was a lot of the serious notes. But there was all this comedy. And I'm not a YouTuber. I don't edit YouTube videos in this comedic effect. So that was a very difficult thing to get my head around and trying to figure out how this works and such. But that episode was so nerve-wracking, and I watched that live.
Yeah.
I watched that live, and I saw the comments, and it like there is a reason why people tell you don't read the comments
Oh, yeah.
on YouTube videos because that occurs. But you know, you learn, you live, you learn on circum situations. And while that video was very difficult to make because there's just so much going on that episode, and there was so much happening, and there was a lot of chaos behind the scenes with that episode. I look back at it fondly, though. I do look back at it fondly because I was like, oh, hey, that was my first episode I've done for Project 6.3, and whether or not people enjoyed it or not, it was an experience, and I've definitely learned from it.
I
Let's
enjoyed that
say that.
episode. I enjoyed that episode, but it was definitely not.
It was jarring.
It wasn't a typical episode.
No, it wasn't. And also I did add some of my own humor into it, which I don't know if it really panned out, because that's another thing too as well, is people's sense of humor are different compared to other people's, so some jokes landed, some didn't.
Yeah. Well, Garrett, who is your boss?
My boss is Matthias. It's Matthias, or I do work alongside with Sam and Quinn, but majority it would definitely be Matthias, I would say.
And Amon, who is your boss?
I guess I'm supposed to say Matthias since he's like CEO man.
CEO
but quite
man.
honestly, yeah, CEO man. I either call him that
Well,
or
who do you
boss man.
report to?
Basically just whoever's listening, I guess. I mean, in the beginning it was mostly Matt, but as time went on, it became more so Sam who was kind of guiding me throughout.
Mhm.
So I'm more compelled to say that Sam is like my active boss, whereas Matt is my passive boss.
Yeah. Brandon, who is your boss?
I think we
He's
lost
not
Brandon.
here.
Did he drop up?
The tunnels.
The tunnels. Well, I know that
Tunnels got him.
Brandon reports to Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner is the one that
Thumbnail
does for the dope or nope thumbnails, but I would say that the Project 863 he would report strictly to Matthias. And
Makes sense,
right.
yeah.
yeah. So a couple targeted questions. Garrett, how did you get into video editing? And I also know that you're an actor. How did you make that jump?
So we'll start with how did I get into video editing. To be brutally honest, I got into video editing because I wanted to make films, and when I was like 10 years old or so, and so I would just use Windows Movie Maker to just start editing my own little short films and such like that. That are terrible, may I say, but it was a learning curve, and it was also really easy to just understand the idea of pacing and using specific tools into any process. For example, like J-cuts and how to do like audio mixing properly and things like that. And when I went to high school, we took a course on like really quick on how to use Premiere Pro and Sony Vegas, and I would just keep increasing my skill and just keep working at it. I never actually took like a massive course on how to edit something. It's mostly just trial and error and just doing it. And when everybody asks me like, oh, do you have any tips to be an editor? Just do it. Just go on the program, just have an idea what you want to make, and just try your hardest to make that vision happen. And if you don't know how to do something, simply just Google it, watch a tutorial maybe, and learn. But I don't, because I think doing something will make you learn something rather than actually just reading about it.
DaVinci's free, by the way, everyone. Go download it.
Yes. Do it now.
Yeah. And I mean, DaVinci, if you know how to run DaVinci, you know how to run Premiere Pro. So
basically, I personally think I think DaVinci has a more intuitive design.
And
personally,
the learning curve is very shallow.
Yes.
Especially if you're coming from, because I started on Windows Movie Maker. Like I was doing stupid like music videos. So like very stupid. And if anyone ever finds those, I'll be deeply embarrassed. There are some people know my personal YouTube, especially because I'm not even a moderator on my. I'm not a mod on the podcast, but I'm like, hey, people don't know who I am, and they're like, who's that? But yeah, there's a couple of music videos on that channel, but it's for Supernatural. I'm a huge fan, still a huge fan of Supernatural.
Were they AMVs?
No.
I feel called out.
That guy.
No,
I used to do AMVs too.
No, I did.
wouldn't be
I did.
insulted
My
once
very
again.
first ever music video I ever did was I was on a fan site for House MD.
Oh.
Yeah, and there was like people that were like obsessed with Hugh Laurie. And
okay.
yeah, so the first like 3 ever music videos I ever made was for House. So, and if anyone ever finds those, I'll be deeply embarrassed. And I don't think you will be able to, because I think that was like back on MySpace.
All right,
Like,
Amon, we have a goal here.
No, no, because Amon
Don't
knows
worry.
my last name.
No.
They will find it. Like,
I can't
Okay, let's
remember
not
your last
dox
name for the life
people.
of me. No, I'm gonna dox the old YouTube channel in the next blooper.
YouTube deleted my videos, so
Nah.
you will never find it.
Lucky. Well, Garrett, so how did you make the jump from acting to video? Well, I guess you started video editing, didn't you? And then you went into acting?
No, I did acting first.
Oh, okay.
I always wanted to be an actor. Even now, my main goal is to be a professional actor. That's the one thing I love to do, and something I've been doing for years. It's just jumping as an editor I jumped in as an editor to make projects that I acted in, so I can actually do projects. But now that I know what I'm doing as an editor, so if I don't get a job as an actor for, let's say, for a short film, like, oh, hey, do you need an editor, though? And I'll jump on it there. And then you get connections behind the scenes, too, as well. And as an actor, one of the most important things is getting connections. If you don't have connections, it's really hard to be an actor in this industry. But if you have connections, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, like,
So
even just think about how you got this editing job for Spellbound. It's because you were on Spellbound and somebody saw you, and that's a connection right there. So
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, does editing help you at all in your acting career?
Yes, it helps me a lot for one massive thing. When you know how editing works, you can do blocking as an actor more efficiently, because you understand more the fundamentals of how composition works for camera work and everything. So, for example, I was in a feature-length film last summer, and I had to do a fight scene. Now, I'm not a fight choreographer. I've done courses on it before, but I'm not a professional on it. So, as now I know how to do an edit, or I'm an editor, I'm like, okay, I know that if the camera looks this way, I have to do this, for example, so that it actually gives out the illusion that I'm actually getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
So little small things like that do help with acting.
That's good. Well, I would think that, yeah, you would also kind of be aware of camera angles because you're editing them. So
yeah, basically.
Yeah, so you would be aware of like camera placement and where you would look and stuff like that. So that would definitely help. So that's interesting. We'll go ahead and do Amon. We'll jump down to Amon. How did you become so funny, Amon?
What do you see here? That's a great story. I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, I've been watching YouTube since like 2010, which is probably over I don't know why I said probably. That's over half my life uh, um, since then. So pretty much just kind of like absorbing the humor of everything that I liked on YouTube. It kind of all assimilated into what is now the sense of humor I put into my own videos, what I put into the blooper reels, um, and kind of the stuff in the Project 863 series in like season 1 and season 0. Some of the jokes or edits in there definitely influenced the way I go about making ones for the blooper reels. So, in short, that's why and how I got so funny.
um, how do you balance school and editing for Spellbound?
That's a good question. So, for those who don't know, I'm not actually out of high school. I still
Mon's
have a
40
ways
years
to
old.
go.
Still in high
Accurate.
school.
I'm a junior in high school. I still have like a year and a half to go.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm 17.
hmm
I'm young.
I'm young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
sure, rub it in,
I'm
okay?
young. I'm young. I'm that one annoying, prodigious child that your mom compares you to.
Oh man.
No, but no, but like it is a challenge because high school is high school. Junior year is said to be the hardest year that most people go through. So it is a challenge balancing it all. But generally, the way I do it is just I do all my schoolwork as soon as I get it, and then I have like half the school day left to do nothing, and it gives me time to edit if I'm in a closed off area where no one's going to see what I'm doing, because I would accidentally violate my NDA.
Yeah.
So basically, time management really helps me. So, um, yeah, essentially, how I balance, I decided to be responsible. And it helps that I'm medicated for my ADHD. Because this time, instead of pushing my work away, I just hyper focus on all of it until it's done early.
Well, that's good. In a way.
Yeah,
Because
I need to eat sometimes.
I
But
mean, I believe it was on the exact channel. Matthias did like a study session. Does anyone remember that? Where he would do like 20 minutes. He would do 20 minutes of editing work, and he
Oh.
would just sit in silence. He just sat in silence for like 20 minutes, and then he got like 5 minutes off, and he would actually talk to the audience, and then he would do 20 minutes again, more, and then 5 minutes off. I think. Don't quote me on that. Like it was something like that. And so when I started editing the podcast, there it is, the study with me. I started having that on the back in the background, and I like would pull it up on my cell phone, and I would do, because that's one of the, like I hyper focus on it, and it's not really good because when you get to my age, things creak and you have to stand up, and you feel like you broke something and your back ends up hurting and stuff like that. So I would do the 20 minutes on with Matthias and just edit, and then I would take the 5-minute break to like stand up and walk around, because it was like, I can't do it, especially like I have short little legs. And the chair that I sit in, like that I'm sitting in right now, it cuts off the circulation. So,
oh no,
yeah, so I have to get up and walk around a little bit or stand up. And so, and I would have to say, even for studying, that is well, it says come study with me, but if you're getting into editing and Amon, maybe you might need to use that so you're not so hyper focused and you can eat something, because that's not healthy, Amon.
listen. Okay, look, straight up. While I was editing together my most recent music video, I literally got carpal tunnel in my hand
Oh yeah.
because I was just sitting at my table and I was editing for 6 hours straight. Literally, Pastel knows I still know what I'm talking about. I was literally talking about it while it was happening. So, yeah, take breaks, kids. I'm not going to, but you should.
Mission
Oh,
addict.
come on.
I am not 21 years old, mission addict.
I was about to point that out.
I am the same age as Matthias, guys. Okay? Like,
Everybody Googles Matthias' age.
33.
Well, everyone calls him the old man. Like, and I'm like, I get offended. I'm like, no. And then he calls himself an old man. I'm like, no, we're not. Like,
Granny Artemis?
no.
Granny Artemis.
Not yet, but I will be the best granny in the old folks' home. So, trust me.
Artemis is Matthias confirmed.
Johnny D, you're 34. You look 20. Thank you. But no, I'm not 34. I'm 33.
I am not 34 either.
All right, so let's go ahead and open this up to people. If you have any questions about becoming an editor for Spellbound, or what you think, like, I think a lot of people are going to be like asking, like, how do you overcome fear, or stuff like that. Yeah, deep question. So I'm gonna say be prepared. So, and once again, when we open this up, please make sure that your the background is free of noise, that you have a somewhat decent microphone. You don't need to have a terrific microphone, but have somewhat of a decent microphone, and make sure you're over 14 years old, because this is being streamed and it is being monetized. So I cannot make money off of anyone who's younger than 14. So I will get demonetized. Please don't do that to me. If you are younger than 14, don't say it, but type it in the comments, and we'll have one of my moderators relay it to me if you guys have any questions. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's see. We do have some hands raised. We have Grace. I find it funny
that I'm half Artemis's age.
Shut up. Hey, Grace, how are you?
I'm actually good. My question is, since I'm a beginner in editing, which programs do you guys recommend?
So you talk about video editing?
Yeah, or anything in general.
So if you're going to do anything when it comes to video editing, the first program I'd use is Davinci Resolve. We've talked about it beforehand, just because it's free, and also it is professionally graded, meaning that a bunch of industries now, such as Disney, I can't think of what, just Disney, I guess, use actually Davinci Resolve, and it's quite easy to use too as well. It's very intuitive to use, and again, it's free. So if you want to try it, see if editing's for you, I definitely highly recommend it.
And I'll take the answer for Brandon, who it would be our graphic designer up here. If you're looking into, of course, the main goal is to do Photoshop, but if you want a good free program that runs just like Photoshop, it would be GIMP. GIMP you can get for free, download that, mess around with that, learn on that, and then you basically can transfer what you learn from GIMP to Photoshop. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, sorry. Usually I would have Shades doing this for me.
Shades, where are you?
I miss you, Shades.
We've got a butter Pop-Tart for you.
That's how we lure him out of his cave.
Bread, I'm inviting you to speak. Hey, Bread.
Yo, is that Bread?
That's Bread.
And Artemis's mic got significantly worse.
My mic?
My end. Yeah, now you sound like you're drowned out. Hold on.
Oh,
Artemis, you're fine on our end, so.
Yeah, I'm all like, I didn't buy this microphone, but I trust the person who did.
It was Matt.
Yes, it was Matthias that bought this microphone for me.
Never trust Matthias. That's rule number 1.
Well, I know you guys are all butthurt about him, but I mean, he just joined the server.
Smash.
Project 863 is no more.
I got really happy whenever he shut off the program, but then whenever he grabbed the bat from his car, I was just like, yes! Then he grabbed the bat.
No!
He got the bat. No!
Uh,
Shuts off program. Yes! Grabs the bat, starts walking towards Red Base. No!
So
There's
do
a
you
lot of
have
good
a
stuff on there.
do you have a question for our editors here?
I do.
What's that?
So in making thumbnails and editing videos, since obviously I'm about to start filming on my channel, and also I'm going to start making art for the bread server. Therefore, you know what to do.
Nice.
Good job.
Oh my god, it's bread!
Yeah, I said no. So what choices do you think I should make in designing a thumbnail?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Where's Brandon?
Brandon?
I have some
Brandon,
input on this.
Yep.
So Brandon has been helping me with my own YouTube thumbnails since I don't want to bother him to do mine all the time. So I'm going to rehash his advice a little bit. So essentially, of course, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your thumbnail revolves around stuff that's actually in the video. Like, you don't want it to be so clickbaity that it's just completely unrelated. So that's the first thing. The other thing is that you don't want to have a lot of dead space in your thumbnail. You want whatever's being shown off to be, visible, bright, and basically eye candy.
Yeah.
And to take up as much of the space as possible. And then, of course, some red arrows and circles never hurt.
So red arrows and red circles.
Yeah.
Red arrows pointing to nothing.
Absolutely right.
And if Matthias was here, he would say...
You gotta drop in a
He
few
would say,
OMGs.
mess with the eye color.
Absolutely.
Everything blue.
Oh, Mr. Light Blue Eyes.
Also,
Light blue
what
eyes, light green eyes.
I would recommend is when editing a thumbnail, when you're editing the actual piece, zoom out of the actual project itself by 25%, because that's usually the size of the image that people are seeing. So you want to make sure it's whatever you want to be eye candy to be from a distance, not from a close-up.
Yeah, so you can edit it all together close up, but once you think you have a good draft, zoom out and see if it looks the way you want it to.
Yep.
And I know Grace just asked this, but any programs you would use for thumbnails?
GIMP mainly.
GIMP, got it.
But yeah,
Yep,
GIMP is free.
Got it.
And GIMP has all the tools that Photoshop basically has. You just gotta figure them out.
It just takes a little while.
And we do. You can always ask questions to Squatter or Brandon himself if you have any questions on how to do it. Even Mon, who's just learning. There's a lot of talents, even here on the podcast Discord, that you can tap into. We have artists like Pastel. We have Toast. I'm trying to think. Emiko. I can't believe I forgot Emiko. So anytime you have
you?
I know. Oh my gosh.
Anytime
that you have any questions, there's plenty of people here in this Spellbound community who's also learning and who's also messing around. There's also good tutorials on YouTube on how to run GIMP and how to make a professional thumbnail. So I would tap into those too. There's a lot of free advice out there. So
yeah.
My first thumbnail's already made. It's gonna be Nick. So sorry, I'm using my real accent. I got tired.
That's fine.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much, Brett. I hope good luck with your thumbnails.
Oh, Brett, by the way, I'll get your paycheck to you soon.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
In case you did not know, Bread was one of the makers of the Artemis hates neck meme, and Garrett snuck it into a Project 863 video, and so
You quote the DM from Artemis that I got whenever I sent her that photo. Fat face lol.
yeah.
That was
my
the exact
my
DM.
face is all I don't know. I was having a fat day or something, but yeah. I had a chubby face. It looked like a chipmunk storing acorns for the summer.
You mean winter?
Yeah, the winter. Sorry, I'm a fat kid. I'm storing it for the summer too.
I like how that image is now in my assets folder for Project 863.
Oh no!
Yes,
I am afraid to post selfies in front of Emiko, Bread, and Hannah. Like,
yeah, you made a mistake, Artemis. You've made a lot of mistakes in your time, but you know, there's not as many as you know. Let me find it.
Yeah, Bread has so many selfies.
Listen, I have a screenshot. Give me a minute.
Oh no.
I have a screenshot. Let me just find it of my screen. Here it is.
No.
It's pain.
Oh god.
This is my pain. Because eventually it gets so small where it won't even let you shrink it.
The naked Minecraft guy right there.
That's
naked Minecraft guy.
I also noticed the I'm gonna make it worse thing on the side.
I'm gonna make it worse, yeah. That made a meme about that. That was yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh man.
By the
Thank
way,
you,
Artemis,
Brad.
I was
Thank you.
Artemis, that photo up there.
Garrett, no, don't encourage
I said that. If you actually
I will
scroll
encourage
up,
all of this.
If you scroll up, the one where you were the best artist section, if you ask me, I may or may not have given that photo to Emiko and Hannah.
Yeah, they have it. Yes.
I've done bad things, and those bad things have reached.
I've done bad things.
I've done. Which one? Oh, you know.
It's just
this is my.
Garrett, you know what the Artemis is, right?
Oh,
that actually don't.
I forgot who gave this to me, but this is what I'm going to use on all my photos now.
You don't.
That's the thumbnail right there.
Garrett,
thumbnail.
Here's the
I've
Artemis.
inspired a lot of things.
Oh, the Artemis. I have seen that. Yeah.
That's created by Hannah, and that is Matthias and my face morphed.
Hairless Matt was inspired by a photo that I made.
There's something that's there's a word it's called where it's basically there's two images where it looks normal, but if you turn upside down, it's a different image. I forget what that's called, but that's exactly what that is.
There's the original right there.
Oh God!
Yeah.
I sent that to Matt. He goes, "Why would you send that to me?" And I'm all like,
"Because
this is your fault in a way."
Go into emojis.
It's a phantom true face.
Go into emojis.
That's not nice.
Just do me a favor. Hop into emojis and don't even go into emojis. Just type in Godamus.
No.
And that's what you get.
Oh man.
Thanks, Nugs.
Oh man.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. Good luck with your thumbnails, dude.
Are you sure you want to say thank you?
Yes. Have a good one, Brad. All right, let's see who else
I will.
we got.
I'll make more.
I'll
make more.
Oh man.
No.
That was amazing.
I know. I know. E.T., I'm going to invite you to speak. Hello.
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 Hi. Do you have, I'm hoping you have questions for them.
So, I have one question, and it's, if there would be one rule that you can't go without, what would it be?
Rule? Did you say?
Like,
Sorry?
rule regarding, like, graphics, or if you're, like, making any edits and stuff.
If you could start making a rule book on what to do on editing, what would be
Oh,
the number one rule? The sacred rule of
the
editing.
sacred rule of editing. I think for me personally, the sacred rule of editing would be. Well, there's I got two in my brain. That's what I'm trying to see which one's better. But so one of them would be have fun. I think if you're editing and you're not having fun, what's the point? Editing should be a fun activity, even though it's stressful at times. Even though it's at that point where you're just like, oh, what am I doing here? And you're standing on a computer for like 12 hours. There's a reason why you're doing it, and that's because you love it. So if you're not having fun, what's the point? Second editing rule I would say is always have a backup.
Well, absolutely.
Things will go wrong no matter what. At the desk episode made me have 14 backups because the audio got corrupt. So always have a backup no matter what.
And save as you go.
And save as you
absolutely.
Autosave. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Amon, do you have anything to add to that?
Just kind of building off of that. It's just kind of like a thing for me personally. Like, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, obviously.
Yeah.
But I usually put like when I'm in the progress of editing, I put my renders at half quality so that it doesn't take so long to render whenever.
Proxies.
Yeah. Also proxy files. Those are really important.
You guys are
Those are my
such nerds. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I am a
No.
nerd.
Not wrong.
No, well, I know that one of the issues that Amon ran into that we all heard about on the
Oh, I remember this.
it was 4K.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and your poor computer was just limping along trying to handle 4K footage and
Yeah.
Just screaming.
If you're trying to download like 4 terabytes of 4K footage,
Oh,
don't do
gosh.
it all at the same time.
Oh man.
yeah.
It broke my computer.
if you want to work for Spellbound, have fast internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And definitely get yourself an external hard drive.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, ET.
Thank you. Bye.
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 All right.
I wanted to step up real quick.
Hi, Pastel.
If you can explain to me what a proxy save is, I would appreciate that.
So a proxy is basically a render of the video raw footage you're using, but it's at a lower resolution. So basically when you're editing, you're not using the 4K resolution, you're using a 720p. So it's easier for your computer to actually register what's going on behind, like when you're actually editing a project. But when you actually render the final piece of the final sequence, you can turn off proxies and it'll actually render at 4K.
Okay, that makes sense.
Did you get all that?
Okay.
Did you write all that down?
I'm going to later.
She's like,
That has like loads of questions. Like, let's do this. Let's go.
Garrett can attest to this. I had a meeting with him the first day I met him, and I literally sat there and took notes the whole time.
Yeah, we talked.
Nice.
We talked for quite a bit. It was lovely.
Oh,
Indeed, it was.
thank you. Thank you for helping my editors, Garrett.
Okay, man. Okay, that was it.
All right, thank you, Pastel.
Yeet.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Hellgrind. Let's see. How come I can't click now? Where's Shades?
Shades.
Shades. How I missed thee. Pastel, can you bring up thank you, Pastel.
What was me?
Hellgrind. We invited you to speak. You just click up at the top, accept. There you are. Hi.
How is everybody?
We're
Doing
hanging in
good,
there.
how
How
are
about
you?
you?
We're doing good.
I'm doing all right. I had a kind of a gross day, but I'm not going to talk about that. My question is, I've been thinking about doing kind of like my own kind of podcast, but I have like no knowledge on how to start anything like that. So, what advice or kind of things you'd say a newbie would need for doing something like that?
Editors.
Yes,
Editors.
editors. For a podcast, the number one thing that I would tell anyone is to get an RSS feed. Basically, what they do is you upload your podcast to them, and they upload it to the multiple platforms that we're on. So I don't have to individually make an account for Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google. The people that the RSS that I go through is Buzzsprout, and I have an affiliate link in the description of the YouTube videos, and that you can click on, and you can get, like, I think it's like 2 months free or whatever. But I mean, they helps. I mean, the hardest thing anyone can tell you on trying to get onto the podcast platform is how the hardest one to get on is Apple. And they just walked me through it, and it was so easy. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's Buzzsprout right there.
Nice.
It was so easy because they were like, have 2 episodes ready. And because when they submit the application to Apple doesn't just want to review one, they want to review a couple of them. So they say at minimum have at least 2 episodes ready. And so when I first started this podcast, me and Nikki, we took an entire afternoon and filmed 2 episodes, and then I just went in and edited. And I was an idiot back then, and that's when I was using Hit Film Express to edit a podcast. Karen's like, yes, I'm an idiot. But luckily someone stepped in. Thanks, Dad. And got me a subscription to Descript. Descript is very, very good. Like, it uploads, like, when you upload your podcast to Descript, it automatically makes a transcript. So you can read as you're listening, and you can literally take out all the ums. It will digitally take out all the ums. It's a wonderful program, is Descript. But, so yeah, those 2 things, Descript and an RSS feed, if you want to do if you want to have fun with the podcast. But just like Amon said, editors, I have Nugs. He is my sound editor. I also have Nate. He also does the Descript editing. He also manages my social networks. Like, we're going to be releasing sometime this weekend, we will be releasing Pastel's video for TikTok. So,
Nice.
yes, thank you, Pastel. And Pastel's kind of using us as a internship for Spellbound. Like,
Nice.
they're working. They want their editing level to be Spellbound excellent. So
Stop calling me out.
Yes.
We're gonna call you out more.
I can't wait until everyone sees your TikTok video. So,
Garrett gave me a lot
throwing
of
you under the
pointers,
bus.
and I'm tweaking it and making it better.
yeah. Well, you're always tweaking and making things better, and so you should never stop doing that. But sometimes you just have to stop, Pastel, and let it and upload it.
No, it gotta be perfect.
It's gotta be
Only.
perfect.
Perfectionism.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So, is that did that answer your question?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Okay, let's see. I did see another not bread.
Not bread.
Not bread. Pastel, do you think you can invite them up for me? I don't know why I can't do it right now.
It's just like not bread.
Not bread.
Is that because I called you bread?
I know it's not you. Bread's in the comments going, it's not me.
No,
Yeah.
we know bread.
Hi, not bread.
Hi. It's actually toast, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Toast.
It's toast.
Toast.
We love toast.
Toast.
Hi. How are you guys? I know this
Yeah,
was
hey, Toast.
asked.
We're finally meeting.
Yeah. Hi. Hi,
Crazy.
Emma.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. Sorry to interrupt your question. I just wanted to say hi.
No, totally fine. Honestly, it's the first time meeting.
Heck yeah.
My question was, I don't know if this was actually answered, but out of Spellbound, do you have any projects editors? Do you have any other projects that you're like getting into? Or are you just strictly Spellbound?
Oh
So-
boy, Airport, you better start plugging.
So for me, I'm a contracted editor, so that means that I'm paid to do a job, not rather actually get paid full time at Spellbound. So I do have projects behind the scenes too, as well as actually quite a bit behind the scenes occurring at the same time. One of them actually being a short film that I've written, directed, and I'm going to be editing, hopefully in 2022, because I had funding and COVID's like, no, you don't have funding at all, and I lost everything. So we shall see.
Everyone
Very
go
exciting.
support Garrett.
Yes, do it right now. Go.
Everyone go support Garrett.
Oh no! Oh
Do
no!
it.
Don't do
Do
it. GoFundMe.
You can't avoid it.
GoFundMe for the Canadian.
We're gonna do
Oh
it.
come on! You have to throw me under like that.
I already mentioned Tim Hortons.
I know that. You call me the Canadian.
The Canadian. Well, you're the. Well, it's like we adopted you.
Yay! I've been adopted.
Yes.
I have a family. No. Okay, so,
yes, you do. The podcast is definitely your family. Anytime you need us, we will
Aw.
be there for you, Garrett and Amon
That's
and
what's
Toast. The Toast kicked my butt yesterday. I was on Jordan and Angel's Twitch stream yesterday, and they were doing this like, was it 30 seconds, Toast?
It was like between 30 seconds or a minute. I can't remember.
It was quick. It was not a minute.
I don't know.
But they told us to draw the Phantom Mask, and I'm over there like, huh. I mean, and then you saw Toast's, and it's like, and then you saw mine, and it looked like I like drew it with my left hand with a crayon.
I mean, if you're left-handed,
I liked it.
I'm
I
not
liked
left-handed.
I liked your drawing. I liked everybody.
It was very like, I didn't have a reference picture or anything, but then she actually had like the, what is that called? Like the structure and lines and stuff, and I'm all like, holy, how did you do that?
I don't know. Sometimes
how are you
like,
so talented?
that I don't have an explanation for that. People ask me like, it's like the audio. If you do the thing and you do it right, it just works. That's kind of just how it happened. I mean, like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I just draw. I don't.
It comes natural.
Yeah,
It's okay to say that and hurt our feelings.
I'm just like trying to explain it. I'm like, how do you explain
How
that?
am I good at drawing?
I'm well.
You are. I just saw your recent image, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's so good. Like when I saw your photo to edit onto the episode, that was my favorite part because I saw like all this red smoke and like, oh, we're gonna have fun doing this.
Oh, that
We-
was interesting. I don't know if you saw the caption for that. I did throw a bop it because I was playing with meddling with a bop it while I was drawing. I don't know if you saw the caption, but that was an interesting ride.
You
was
can
fun.
draw and bop it as well. What the heck? What kind of weirdo are you?
No,
Just like pop it, twist it.
Pull it, push it. Like,
it helped me calm down.
Draw
Man.
it.
how do you do that in Raw?
How is that calming too? That's the most like anxiety-driven game ever. You're like, ah, ah.
I don't know, man. I
That
don't
game
know.
gets thrown across the room with me.
Oh no.
So, well, Amon, let's shout out your projects, Amon.
Yes.
I'm on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Do you
But-
want to shout out your Syntech University?
I'll
Ooh,
get to
yeah.
that.
Oh, okay,
I just-
well, go ahead. Do your shout outs.
I have a couple things. Just like my YouTube channel, I work on that every couple days. I'm also an avid writer. I do that quite a bit. And it's funny because before I was an editor, I was a writer for like 6 more years. So I find it funny that I'm an editor and not like a writer, but whatever. I'll talk about that more a different day. But Syntech University, yes, that is a side project that I am involved with. And I'm very excited to say that, Brad up here is not Brad, actually, Toast.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
say, man.
Oh man.
Sorry, it's the name. It's confusing me. But
It's fine.
Toast
It's
is doing something very special for me, and I very much appreciate it.
wink wonk.
Hopefully,
Wink wonk.
wink wonk.
I
my
just don't
God.
know what that is either.
Hopefully-
You're doing it wrong, Brad.
Wonk wonk.
I mean, Toast.
You're doing it wrong, Artemis. It's not bread.
I know.
Bread. I mean toast. I mean bread. It's fine.
Oh, now
Ah.
now Brett is actually asking me something. What did I say? Basically, I said that Toast is working on something very exciting, and I hope to be able to share it soon enough.
Most
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Very
I'm
excited.
excited to see it. I have no idea what
I'm
they're
excited
talking about.
too.
I have
No one
idea
does.
what's
I'm
happening.
not
Only
part
me
of
and
the
Toast.
Syntech University. I have friends there, but I never enrolled.
You have friends on campus.
Yes, I have friends on
Secrets.
campus. Sometimes we go and have lunch, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Well,
But yeah,
Thank
we'll
you
be
so
over.
much, Toast.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
was nice
Toast.
meeting you through the voices.
Yeah.
Through the
man.
voices.
Through the
Voices.
voices.
Syntech
Oh,
University burned down, actually. Sorry.
I'm
With
sorry.
Project 863 dying, so is Syntech University.
Oh,
Spoiler.
No. Spoiler.
Syntech
Syntech-
University is
Dead?
ash.
Is it dead?
Oh
Oh.
no.
Yes.
Dead
Rip
or
Syntech Uni- Can we get a RIP Syntech University in chat?
F?
Rip.
F.
F in the chat.
F in the
Michael
chat.
Badal.
Well, thank you so much,
Oh.
Toast.
Of
Yes, thank you
course,
very, very much.
you. All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
Hey.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this session. We have been up here for almost 2 hours. So
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
I know. You guys can talk. No.
Oh, okay.
I do. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's a podcast. Like, I hope you guys could talk. I do want
I
to
did
say
use my words.
that if you are interested in becoming an editor for Spellbound, my moderators are going to be posting the links to the application. Please don't. I guess they've been getting like a lot of, like, of course they're going to get a lot of spam. But if you feel like you were qualified, that you have done a couple of edits, and that you want to know if you are Spellbound material, I guess that sounds weird, but go ahead and fill out an application, and that is one of the things that Spellbound is in dire need of. Like, Matt has called it out a couple of times, Sam has called it out a couple of times, even the HR, I think it was the HR lady, posted it on Spellbound Plus. So please, 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 if you know someone who is an editor and looking for a contract job, send them over that application, and let's get them some qualified people. That way we can get better
Yeah.
content, and we can get
Yep.
free up some, because I know Matthias is doing a lot of the editing as well, so we can free up.
Yes.
the old man. He has enough on
Look
his
at call
plate.
old. I like you
know.
call him old man, but you're the same age.
But the
You
thing
complain
is,
about everyone, including him, calling himself old man. And
yeah,
then you're just like, "Yeah, old man.
he during a VC, was it VC? I don't know. He said something about him being old, and I was like, "You're not old, then that would make me old." And he's like, "No, you're not old because you don't have kids." And I was like, I work with
That's
kids.
a criteria.
140 foster kids. Like, I think I got you beat on that. And he goes, "You don't come home to them." I'm like, "That's true."
That's sad.
That's
Well,
true.
there.
He's all like, "Kids make you old," and I'm all like, "That's true."
I am a kid.
Yeah. Shut up,
You ever
Amon.
think about that? You ever think about that?
You ever think about that? I will say, real quick. They asked if it's a paid job. It is. You get $7 per minute of the runtime of the video itself, and also you must be 18 years or older.
Says Amon.
Okay, there is okay, look, that doesn't count, but for this position, he must be 18 years or older to
And-
I'm a special child.
Spellbound.
But the thing is if you're younger than 18 right now, this is take what these guys have said and start opening up a Davinci Resolve, start messing around, pick a song that you think fits 863 and try to make a music video out of it. Like, that to me is like one of the best things you can do right now, is like to mess around, is to because then it teaches you to match video with audio. And I know when like you're an editor and you have to match like Mike Badal's amazing soundtrack and lay it into a video, that's probably, I would think that would probably be one of the hardest parts of that job, because you have to set the mood. So
I have to do that with the bloopers as well. Just timing and stuff.
The thing about Michael Badal's music, and the best thing about it, is their support. It's not only is it amazing and it can be on its own, but it's also support music, meaning that it's not too distracting to the scene that it's being focused on. So when you put it in, it just works. That's one of the main reasons why I also love working with Michael Badal, because it just, every time I put that song, I'm like, okay, that just works.
Yeah. Well,
thank you. Story about that.
Thank
Real
you.
quick.
We're running out of time. I'm sorry, Amon.
Okay.
If you guys have any more questions for them, they are on my Discord on the Subject 4 podcast. Amon is one of my editors, and Garrett is a big fan. So he's around a lot too. So if you guys want to hang out in the VC, I'm not going to pressure you guys to do that. But the VC will be open later if you guys want to chat. But I'm going to have to say goodnight. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday. And once again, if you know anyone who is a video editor or even graphic designer, they're also looking for graphic designers, have them fill out an application, and let's get some qualified people over at Spellbound. And once again, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being here today. And I hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.